Oh, just taking a load off after a nice day's work. Huh? Oh, these old things? Oh, don't worry about these. These are, they're just the 10 rings. The ones that you hear legends about. That was pretty good, you gotta admit. I had no other idea for this intro. Hey, hello, how are you? I am Clay Hurley. I make cool stuff on this channel. If you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. If you've been here, hey. And if you've been here, thank you for the support. Hope you like this video. Today we're making the 10 rings from Shang-Chi Legend of the 10 Rings. I watched it on Disney Plus. I didn't watch it in theaters because I suck so bad, dude. But yeah, I watched it on Disney Plus and I loved it and I wanted to make them, so that's why I'm making this very late. And Shang-Chi's been out for a while. I know, but I'm new here, okay? Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I start by cutting the circles out of a 6mm EVA foam. I have this nifty little tool that I can cut circles out with. This little guy. You take one of the blades, you screw it in right here, and then you can use this and change the size, so like that, and then this little guy pops out. I don't know if you can see, but this little pointy bit pops out, so it sticks, and then the blade, and then you turn it, and then it cuts circles. You can also do it freehand if you want, but they might turn out a little wonky. I left about 1.5 centimeters thickness from the inner circle to the outer edge of the circle. I feel like that was a good thickness to have. All right, so I cut all 20 rings. I cut 20 because you do 2 for each side, and then 2 for each hand. And these ones, they're very small, but I'm going to use, don't tell me I lost them, dog. Oh, they're right here, idiot. So these ones are small, or smaller, because I didn't want them to be big to where they were baggy around the wrists, which is what would have happened if I would have cut it big enough to where I could fit my hand through it. So what I did, or what I'm gonna do, is I have these little magnets, these little earth magnets, or whatever you call them. Dude, they're so strong. It's insane. So when I put it together, I'm just gonna like cut it in half and then attach these 2 little magnets to each side. Can you see that? Yeah. So then they can magnetize together. So then I can, you see what I'm saying. So it'll be something along the lines of that. I'm gonna use this and cut the outer walls for it, and then attach them together. So then I have like the whole piece, and then I'm gonna leave the inner wall open so that I can put the LEDs in later. And then once I have the outer walls, I'm going to bevel the edges and start more detailing it. Ah! So I'm cutting a 1 centimeter wide strip to glue for the outer wall. And I'm using contact cement. And then here you could see I was gonna use LED lights, but I ran into problems with those. So more on that later. Right now we're just worried about making the circles. You could see right here that I cut the smallest circles in half, and I'm drilling out a little spot for the magnets to go into. Of course, I was completely out of frame right here, so you can't see anything I'm doing, but I'm just super gluing the magnet in. On one, I did a diagonal cut, and one, I did a straight cut. And I feel like on the finished product, even though you don't really see it anyway, See, this one is the diagonal cut, so it blends in a lot better with the diagonal cut as opposed to the straight cut. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it a little easier. But hey, it's whatever you want to do. I'm not your boss, I'm not your father, and I'm not your God. So I can't tell you what you want to do. All I can do is give you some suggestions and see if you follow them. So here are the rings so far. A couple of them are a little loose, like this one. That's what we got so far. And like I said, these ones are magnetized, so I can get it on easier. This took me a couple hours. It wasn't hard, it's just the monotonous task of like repeating the same thing 10 times, you know what I mean? So right here what I'm doing is I am beveling the edges. So I'm just taking my Dremel tool. I think it's a grinding stone. These work better than sanding bits, which have these guys on top, which is literally just like little bits of sandpaper. These work a lot better than those because it's a lot more coarse. It'll tear up your foam more. This is a lot not as coarse, so it'll be a smoother grind. I'm trying a couple different bits with my Dremel to carve in the etchings. I put a couple smiley faces in there. It was really just trying to match these. I was trying to see how I was gonna lay in the LED strips and have them go down my arm. But the way I wanted them to bend, they just weren't really bending right, and like it was just gonna be not as clean as I wanted it to be. Right here I'm spraying it with some Plastidip. Plastidip is a good tool for when you're painting foam because it's basically like a rubberized coating kind of, and you put it on the foam. It helps seal it. And here's some tape peeling ASMR. So here I'm watching a movie called At Eternity's Gate. It's about Vincent van Gogh, starring Willem Dafoe playing Vincent van Gogh. I never knew this movie existed, and I watched it, and it was amazing, and I loved it. It was a very good movie. If you like Willem Dafoe, and if you love Vincent van Gogh, then give it a go. Oh God. So I'm painting in like a dark silver on the inner walls. You don't have to do this. I end up painting over it anyway, but you can have a nice silver on the inside if you want. I'm trying to dry brush on the gold. I just end up spraying it gold anyway, and of course I didn't show it because I just spray painted them gold. And so here I'm trying to figure out how to make the carvings black again. I try a paint marker, I try a Sharpie, and I try just painting in the lines with the brush. And then what I ended up doing was I just took some water and some acrylic paint and mixed them together, making like a black acrylic wash. And I would dab it into the carvings and then wipe it away, leaving the black inside the carving and leaving the outside gold. And it also gave it a nice kind of weathered look anyway, so yeah, worked out good. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna make the outside of the ring like a copper. So what I ended up doing was I ended up taping the parts that I wanted to remain gold and sprayed the outside of it, so just the slants were a copper. So yeah, this is the part where I was painting over the silver anyway. So what I'm doing here is I am weathering the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some black acrylic paint, putting it in the inner wall, and I'm using a paper towel to kind of dab away at it. And it kind of gives just like this like weathered metal look. I wanted it to be darker along the inner wall, so I didn't dab away too much, but I dabbed away enough. And then I also dabbed some black acrylic along just the copper part, and it kind of gave it a nice aged weathered look. So here I'm carving in the engravings on the inner rings. When I would try to shine the light through it, it didn't show up very well, so I ended up just carving all the way through it and using some material to diffuse the inside. So I thought I was going to use these LED strips and solder the whole thing together and get all the wiring and everything, right? The thing is, I've never soldered before, and it took me like a good bit just to do this, and it's not even like good at all. And when I turn it on, like half the colors are gone and stuff. So, oh look, it's not even working now. It's supposed to like shift between colors. Whatever, we're not gonna do that. This is not the project for me to do my first soldering job, because I'll have to end up doing this like 100 times for everything. So we're gonna do these fairy lights. These are on Amazon. And what's cool about these is that they have different modes. So like, I think that that'll be cool inside of there, and like have different kind of like things going on. You know what I mean? Originally, I would have liked to have like a multi-color choice, but I think this will be fine. Here what I'm doing is I am, this material that I'm using, it's like a packing foam, just a little, just like this foam that you use for packing. It's very good for diffusing light. Yeah, it worked really good. So I'm just cutting that into 1 centimeter thick strips and laying it on the inside of all the rings. This was a process for this part, but what I'm doing is I'm laying in the fairy lights into each of them. I'm cutting 1 centimeter strips of, I believe it's 4 millimeter EVA foam to lay on the inside. While I was laying them in, don't know how well you can see that. Oh, there's a little smiley face, by the way. I was cutting these little grooves and slipping the wire into there, so then the wire would sit flush and not be like on the outside out here, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm just laying them in, and I'm using hot glue to put the other piece of foam down to keep the lights in. And here I'm watching the lovely Bo Burnham inside, dude. I've seen Bo Burnham inside literally 10 times, and I listen to the soundtrack often. So I was like, this is a good point for me to just give it another rewatch. But what I'm doing here is I'm painting the inside of the rings. I'm painting them with a black acrylic, and then I'm painting them with a black acrylic first, and then a gold acrylic. I made sure that the black acrylic was still kind of wet, so then when I painted the black acrylic over the gold, or the gold acrylic over the black acrylic, some parts it would be gold, and then some parts it would be kind of like a darker gold black mixture, and like there'd be like streaks, and it wouldn't be very uniform, so it still adds to that aged look. And then I put a nice clear gloss glaze over all of it to make them shiny, make them look like metal, and there you go, you're done. But I got one more gift for you. It's some B-roll shots. Go to the B-roll. So there you guys have it. You have the Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings. For the battery pack, what I do is I hid it up in my sleeve because I was able to roll my sleeves up. So I hid it up in my sleeve and just kind of tuck the wire in. And then if you want to hide these wires, or if you're going to wear sleeves where this won't just stay in your sleeve by itself, I got some of this stuff. It is like a medical tape, I don't know. It matches my skin tone very well. You can find all different skin tones of stuff like this on like the internet. You just gotta kind of look for it. So what you can do is you can take this, have the battery pack up here on your arm, and then just take this and just tape around it a little bit, and then tape the wire down. And then if you want to hide the smaller wires that are right here, you can just put a little piece over each wire, and it should blend in pretty good. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. Actually, you know what? So there you guys have it. You have Shang-Chi's 10 Rings. Hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, then like the video. If you like me, then subscribe. Stick around, and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. All my social medias will be down, link in the description. If you want to see my other EVA foam project video, check out my Winter Soldier video. It'll be one of these two videos that you can click. And then the other one will be a video that YouTube recommends that you watch of mine. But yeah, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next video. I think you guys will like it. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys later. Bye.